Hello, this is Paul Jones, and I'm with the First Church of the Brethren in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, where we have our program geared in to offer a free computer for someone who comes to just 10 out of 12 classes, and at the end of the 12th class, a certificate is awarded. Many people has done a lot with these certificates, including getting a job or going to college. So it's been very fruitful in here. This lesson was once recognized as number 8, but in the reorganization of the classes recently, it has been moved up to now number 7. It was once with teaching about the paint program, and now this website has it separate for your convenience so that you can go and select information on the paint program much easier. Lesson 7 is about creating shortcuts on the desktop. We basically run everything from our desktop and the programs that are there while we realize we have programs to work with. This is not applications. However, creating shortcuts can involve both programs, folders, and applications as well. Many times we are going into a specific folder that we are working on some applications that we developed in the past. For example, I have done a lot of extensive work on PowerPoint and presenting presentations for different songs. And for this work, it was very convenient for me to create a shortcut to that folder. What we're going to do is go through a step-by-step wizard that helps us create shortcuts to a specific folder, but I'm going to be using a folder that is on our computers, and there is actually a shortcut on the desktop for my documents. That is what we're going to be creating for ourselves. Taking a look at the desktop of one of my computers, take notice there is a lot of programs installed on it. Actually, there are no programs stored on the desktop. These are all shortcuts to be able to activate these programs from somewhere that it is stored on the computer in a folder of its own. Now to the right, I have several folders that looks like manila folders there, just like you get Paperform. And it is a shortcut to specific directories. And then there, if you look in the next column, second column from the right, you'll see at the top a couple documents. They are applications that were developed in a program. However, they are documents that I created. So documents and applications are synonymous. Now to start this procedure, you'll want to right-click in an unused area of the desktop. In other words, where there are no icons of programs, folders, or documents are stored, and a right-click will bring up a menu. You need to remember, anytime you use the right button on your mouse, it will bring up a menu like this. And also, it is true when you're in any programs. A right click is universal to bring up menus. Once you get into this menu, hold your mouse over top of the New selection, and notice there is a arrow there for greater than, and it will populate with a list of secondary things of a menu. And take notice that the second item from the top is a shortcut. Now be aware that this submenu is different on every computer because there are different programs installed on each computer. Making a left click on this shortcut selection, you will get into the place where the wizard actually starts. It is showing you how to create a shortcut for a folder. Now, if you know where that folder's path is and you're able to type it in its entirety, you may type it in right here. But be sure not to make a typical error because it'll cause it to fail. Now let me explain to you what is a path. A path is where it is logically located on your drive within the structure of what is established there. Now take for example, you're going to go into My Computer through the Start menu, and you're going to be able to see all the different drives on your computer. And C drive is always there. Now in reality, you might have several drives on your computer. For example, a D drive might be identified as a hard drive as well, but is usually used in the new computers for the reinstallation of your computer and be able to restore it to its original condition, just like you got it out of the store. However, the C drive and anything after it, for example, you'll see a listing for a CD or a DVD drive or any number of other drives after it. But we're going to deal with the C drive since this is the root directory of where all programs are stored. The C drive is the home drive where most likely the operating system and Windows are found. Now under the C drive there is a selection of different folders or even libraries that will be accessible only through the C drive. Whenever there is a program installed on your computer, it will get its own directory and possibly even what is called subdirectories to store certain resource files for it to be able to work. So these folders and will get numerous as you use your computer. Now every computer that you run into will always have a desktop. That is a folder on there, and also My Documents are always there. And under that we have a selection of other folders such as My Music and My Videos. Please take note that My Music and My Videos, as outlined here, are subfolders to My Documents. So now we have established a simple path where we have a drive C linking to desktop or My Documents, and we have a storage of various music on our computer, or even to include My Videos where we have some home videos stored as well. Please take notice of the outline that I have here. My Music and My Videos are on the same level, so the path can only take one directory or one subdirectory underneath it at a time. There cannot be more than one directory in the same level. Also take notice that My Music is a subdirectory to My Documents and can take that path, and My Videos is another subdirectory to My Documents, and you can select that path. In other words, the C drive is a level equal to other drives that are on your computer or connected to it. The desktop and My Documents are also directories under one drive, but then you can select any one of them from that level, not both. And then My Music and My Videos are also on similar level. They are both under My Documents, but they are not under each other. So we have a subdirectory of My Music to My Documents as the root. So My Documents is the root, My Music is a subdirectory, and My Videos is a subdirectory also connected to My Documents. So now we realize we can write down our path. In the case of a video stored on my computer, I have C:// My Documents / My Videos / and then the name of a file. And that is a complete path. Take notice that the backslashes are used to identify the directories on the computer and its path on the computer, whereas a / is used to identify location on the web. With an understanding of how the tree structure works with the path of a file or a directory, you're able to see this structure by pressing the Browse button there that I'm pointing to the right of the blank space that you have to type in if you know the exact path. But the Browse button will bring up a window for you to see the actual structure for your computer. I hope you realize that making a selection in the form of a click is using the left button on your mouse or the primary button. If you have turned your computer around for a left-handed person, it would be the right button as a primary button. So the term click refers to the primary button. Once making this selection, you'll see the basic structure starting at the very topmost of the structure, and you will have to click on the plus sign of My Computer to be able to see the different drives. Now, although this wizard is good for folders, there is also a capability for selecting files within a folder to do the same thing. You also have an option on the bottom there to make a new folder and be able to make a shortcut for that as well. After finding the folder or the file, in my case, what I want a shortcut on the desktop for, I will be able to say OK. Now I'd like to remind you that in the little boxes there that has a plus sign, when you open up and see what is subdirectories or files underneath that directory, you'll be able to click on a minus sign and be able to close it up. It is a toggle on and off. Now, after making your final selection, like I said, press the OK button that I have marked on the bottom here, and you go back to the original screen that started the whole wizard. But take notice that the exact path is typed in for us. There is no typographical errors, and it's guaranteed to work. Now, the final step is to realize that there is a suggested name in the top of this window. It don't have to stay that way. Remember, with a name that is long on a shortcut, it will tend to word wrap or take multiple lines on the desktop, and the only way you'll see the completed name is when you single click on it to select it, and you'll be able to see the complete established name for that shortcut. It is wise to keep it short. So shorter the better, but keep it meaningful for what you have the shortcut and have access for. Pressing the Finish button will complete this process, and a new icon will appear on your desktop, and it will have an arrow, a curved arrow on the lower left corner of your of the icon, and it signifies that it is a shortcut to something stored on your hard drive. But take notice, if a file is copied on to the desktop, it does not have the arrow. If you should copy a file onto the desktop for quick reference or quick access, please remember that that is 2 copies you have on the hard drive and takes up double the amount of space. If you work on one file, be sure to update the other one as well, because they are separate. In the case of a shortcut, only a link is stored on the desktop. It takes no room, and you work on the same file all the time. So there you have it, creating a shortcut on the desktop using the wizard that is built in for Windows XP. There are other ways of creating shortcuts, and maybe I'll add this on to the next lesson and be able to explain an easier way of making this possible. This is Paul Jones, and this is a series of 12 lessons altogether, and this is Unit 7. So I hope you continue with us, and if you're in the Harrisburg area in Pennsylvania of the United States, you might stop by and visit our class and see what we're doing there.